Good morning. This is Pastor Jason of Kona Faith Center with a word for today. The word for today comes from Romans 10. Now, Romans is one of the great books in the Bible, and Romans 10 is one of the great chapters in the Bible. Well-intentioned people have misunderstood Romans 10, have tried to make it say something that it does not say. Romans 10 starts out by saying that people's zeal for God is good, but only if it's based on correct understanding, and this is my primary point today. It is important to understand that failure comes from doing my own thing instead of submitting to God's way of doing things. Refuse truth, and God will give you up to your own foolishness. Bummers. This means that we need to have enough curiosity that we will push past what others say and study things out for ourselves. And when we're confronted with truth, change the way we think and act to conform to that truth. Now, God has one way of doing things, His. We submit to His way of doing things, which, by the way, is the definition of righteousness. An unfortunate translation in the King James Version is that Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone who believes. Newer translations really mess it up with a translation like Jesus ended the law. Now look, at just a cursory examination of what Jesus said about the law, that it will never pass away. Just a cursory examination of what Paul wrote about the law, that it is holy and good and perfect, shows that the law is going to be around for a while. Now, the Complete Jewish Bible translates this passage much more accurately with the translation that the goal at which Torah, which is the law, aims is Jesus. It then translates that righteousness grounded in the Torah, righteousness grounded in the law, or righteousness grounded in the Word brings life. Very simply, it is our relationship with God that we become aware of and grow in through the knowledge of His Word that connects us with life. His life, or life as God has it, which is what He wants for us. It is this word of life, or word of faith, that produces trust, belief, faith in us, and that moves us towards righteousness, His way of doing things. It is this word of life, or word of faith, that we proclaim that helps us to move towards salvation. So as believers, as people who have a relationship with God, we have been given the responsibility to tell others about life in Jesus. Now, we must be clear that people need to hear and hear and hear the word for faith or belief or trust to rise enough that they enter into this relationship with God. So rather than turning something that's a lifestyle into an event, rather than trying to turn something that is relational in nature into something that is performance in nature, we need to make Jesus conversations a natural and comfortable, a continual part of our lives. We call this discipleship. Everyone who calls Jesus Lord has this responsibility. So go, have Jesus conversations in natural and comfortable ways with everyone you come in contact with. And move yourself, move those who you come in contact with towards righteousness, towards a right relationship with Jesus, and continue towards all the benefits of right relationship with Jesus, which can be summed up in the word salvation. The word for today is the word of faith that is in our mouths and in our hearts that moves us and those around us towards Jesus. God bless. Check in tomorrow.